Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Chopping It Up podcast. I am your co-host, Chartel.
What up? And it's me, Ferris.
And y'all, full disclosure, a bitch is hungover and dehydrated.
Man, it's been...
But I show up for y'all. I'm committed.
Weeks and weekends.
Look,
shit.
Let me tell y'all, I'm sick of cancers. I'm sick of y'all celebrating y'all's birthday. I've never in my life been so tired.
Hater.
Like, this is exhausting.
Hey.
This is exhausting.
Cancer season.
I'm
Speaking
sick
from
of y'all.
you got the Leo talking
yes,
that shit.
the Leo.
But...
Look, I have a whole blast on my birthday, and then I let people go. Cancers want to celebrate all year.
The week before, the week after, at least, at minimum. Because for me, mine's on the 4th. So it's like, everyone's out of town for mine. So I have to try to plan. So that's why I do the weekend before.
Yeah.
And then I for sure do the day of, and then I'm going to do the weekend after.
But why? People ain't out of town like that.
Yeah, they are.
That's too exhausting.
I think so.
And our one of our other favorite guests, Amber's a Cancer too. I'm exhausted. I'm about to block all of y'all for the month of July next year. Next year, I'm blocking everybody for July.
I'm gonna be down there in Georgia with you.
I'm locking the door.
Be in Atlanta, turning up.
Y'all not gonna get me again.
You gonna know all the spots.
Look, y'all not gonna get me again. No, we are gonna do it because it's gonna be bomb.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun. I'm exhausted, but y'all are fun. So.
About to say you're doing it in reverse. Look, just coming in exhausted.
Right? I'm just like, what's exhausting me? Life. Cancers. Cancers is what's exhausting me. So yeah, you guys, y'all know we start with blase. So friend, what's on your mind today?
Man, Bill Cosby's free.
He is. How you feel about that?
Man, I think he did his time. Dude's like 120 years old.
Agreed.
So let him just live out the rest of his life. Yeah, it is what he did was wrong. He did his time, but I think that there's a bigger issue at hand here where it's like, why are you just singling out certain people? For sure. Opposed to, there's others. This stuff is rampant. You hear, the Me Too movement just didn't come out of nowhere. Right. It's not just Bill Cosby messing around with all these women, right? For sure. So it's like,
everyone's culpable.
Seriously. Yeah. So you got like, priests, rabbis, you got celebrities, other celebrities as well, making...
That's true.
Women, children do certain things just to get it casted in movies and music videos and stuff like that. So it's like, I hate how they just try to single out, the black celebrities when it comes to anything. Or the black athletes, so. For
sure. Same thing with Sha'Carri Richardson. Like, why y'all mess with that girl?
Right.
She was literally following the law, but was too great, and y'all needed something to yank her down.
And then it's like...
And then she sideswiped y'all ass because she took accountability.
Right.
So still had grace. Had grace, had respect, had accountability.
Right.
So then she still shocked y'all.
Right.
And said, y'all ain't about to take my greatness. I'm still here.
Right. And it's just like, in a state where it's legal.
Agreed.
At least for me, weed doesn't help any of my performance skills whatsoever. So this woman's out here running
a 10-second relay, whatever. She was 10.7 or something.
So just imagine if she wasn't on weed.
5.
That bitch would be super fast. She'd be the Flash.
I'm trying to tell you. You blink and you would miss her.
Right.
You blink and you miss her.
So
it's always something. And then too, speaking of sports, in swimming, someone designed a swim cap for natural hair and they banned it. But then there was so much uproar that the last thing I saw is now they were, I'm using air quotes for our listeners, reviewing the standards to see if it's, applicable or if it's allowed. So again, what do you mean you're reviewing the standards?
Right.
'Cause it's like literally my hair.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And someone's designing it so that my hair stays safe, but for whatever reason, it's not allowed.
But we see that all across the nation. All across, yep. So you have these kids that... You'll see these news reports from time to time where, an umpire makes a kid, a black kid cut their dreads off.
Yeah. Or like
referee is going to say, no, you can't have, braids. You got to take it out. You got to cut your hair. You got to do this and that. And
it's all like, across.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Right. So then when people when people are like, no, racism's not here. Microaggression, what? Macroaggression. It's like shit like this where I'm like, literally, are you paying attention to anything? But if you don't have to deal with it, out of sight, out of mind.
But America is the biggest gaslighter out there.
Let me tell you. Looks at Juneteenth as a federal holiday.
It's always trying to make us seem like we're just making this shit up.
Always. No, you're right.
Like
no,
we're not.
No, that's not it.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, in your community where you live, you know, take Minnesota, for example, or Minneapolis. Like if you're out in Woodbury and whatnot, yeah, I get it. You know, things are going to be, you know, you're around people who look like you. If you want to speak on the police force, the police actually are going to be on time.
Yes.
Have respect for you because they see you as
an equal, a family member,
exactly.
brothers. Yes. They see you as one of them.
But it's like when they hear about brutality, they think that, oh, that's just, it's isolated.
Well, you or even
following the law, should have been abiding.
Right.
And it's like, there's people, Breonna Taylor gets killed in her sleep. Botham John, cop mistakenly thinks that she's walking into her own apartment, shoots this man dead while he's eating ice cream. You know, there's time after time, Ahmaud Arbery just running down the street, getting his exercise, he gets shot dead. So it's like,
it's the justification for me. Like, well, they didn't mean it. They were scared. Da 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 da. Nah, y'all ain't about to get me. Bitch, you ain't realize your kid didn't work in that damn apartment?
Well, she got off on the wrong floor, too.
Got off on the wrong floor, went to the wrong apartment, using air quotes again, got scared by the wrong person, shot the wrong person. None of those were clues for you.
Man, you know what killed me about that, though?
What?
Is that...
Pun unintended.
Well, right. So she only got 5 years for manslaughter. Then the brother asked to give her a hug. He's like, I just want to give you a hug. You know, I want to forgive you. Look, if my brother Lamar hugs that officer... I'm waking up and whipping his ass.
Courtney and I had the same conversation.
And whooping that man's ass for that. Like, what are you doing?
The same conversation. Let me tell you. So that's what makes me think something else was going on in that situation. You was probably having an affair. Shit was about to hit the fan, and you said you panicked and you had to do something. Because I'll be damned if you murdered somebody in my family and I'm about to hug you.
Well, I thought they were saying that they've seen. I think Amber Geiger was her name.
I literally don't even know
that they've seen her in that apartment before. I've heard them arguing before. And so something's fishy, but it's always something fishy with that. I mean, even, you know, we touch on, you know, my mom and what she's trying to do with the Her Center.
Yep.
And certain cases that she's talking about, like you can just hear the corruption in the police system and in the community as well.
Like the whole system, because that's the thing too. So speaking about North Minneapolis specifically, it's most heavily policed area here, right? And still crime is rampant. So that makes me wonder, what the hell are y'all doing, police? Because if y'all know a certain, like, yeah, Mama White talked about, y'all know a certain liquor store is like, has crime and things there. Why are y'all just sitting watching it go down?
Because I think they're paid.
I think so too.
I think
it's corruption.
I think the higher ups and those and criminal activity are paying off police to just sit back and chill.
I agree with you.
That's how I look at it. That's the only way to describe it. Otherwise, unless it's just straight negligence and you do not care about that community in which you are policing.
It could be both. Truthfully, it could be a mix of all of that. No, I definitely agree. And then, I just lost my train of thought. Don't even get me started on like undercover cops or that whole vice like department and stuff. Like, nah, y'all are going and actually committing crimes in order to catch criminals, which wouldn't be doing criminal activity if it wasn't for y'all in the first place. Like, well, they're like the biggest corruptors.
Entrapment,
yeah, they're the biggest corruptors. So you out here buying drugs, getting your supply, you know, using sex workers and shit like that. But then you want to, arrest the people that are like doing it, but you're doing it. Like, I just don't. None of that makes fucking sense to me. The whole fucking system is fucked the fuck up. And I'm not having it.
Man, I got a funny story.
I love funny stories.
I work at a local bar here in Minneapolis, and there's officers on duty, right? Mm-hmm. Actually, real cool guys. Mm-hmm. Like,
I talked to one. He was delightful. Had a cute little dog and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably Jordan. Was he like? He look mixed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amber not flirting. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. Cool dude.
Yeah.
So, it was actually him who was telling me about this story where he was saying that I think he used to work in St. Paul. And there's this bar down there. It's like a cop bar. Mm-hmm. I think it's called Allery's or something like that.
Okay. We got a nod. Yes.
Oh no, it's Allery's. And so he was saying, once again, to undercover it, there was a male officer that would dress up like a woman and would infiltrate, basically setting up like prostitution to catch these people. I'm like, damn, that motherfucker's in deep. Yes. Like, you are taking your job to the next fucking extreme.
Get the fuck out of here. Like
that's
what
wild.
The hell? It wild as fuck.
And then, yeah, I'm like, man, imagine a 6'2", buff ass cop dressed up as a woman. That's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and nowadays, like, the state of the world, it's probably doesn't look
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's probably like, oh, hey, what's up?
Exactly.
Yeah, not like it would have been years ago. But yeah, I don't, it's really disheartening. It's terrible. And I hate when people just aren't even willing to see another side. So you don't have to have my experience in order to be sympathetic to it.
Correct.
Right. But then, yeah, you have the people, oh, let me tell you about what I was doing. So I went to Olive Garden on Sunday. What is today? No.
Saturday.
Friday. I went yesterday.
God
yesterday.
Exchange got your ass way off.
Fuck the fuck up. Tequila. And so I was at Olive Garden yesterday just to go to lunch or whatever by myself. I was sitting at the bar and there were there's this like white couple at the bar too. Whatever. I'm like, just going to sit down. So then I didn't want to sit too close to them. So then there was like a menu. I was not in the mood to be talking to nobody. And I walked in and they were already chatty. And you know how you can tell people like just want to talk. And they're those kind of people that's just like, no, we're just asking, like, is that your natural skin color? Or like, is your hair like growing like that? I could just tell by the way they were conversing with the bartender that I just wasn't in the mood for none of that smoke.
Your natural skin
Basically,
color.
I just wasn't in the mood for none of that smoke. So I was like, I ain't about to have it today. So then the hostess sat me at the bar and there was a menu and a silverware place setting already there. So I asked her, I was like, oh, is someone already sitting here? And she's like, no, I think they're already gone. So I was like, okay, cool. Cause that's where I wanted to sit. I didn't want to sit too close. So I sat down. So then sis down at the bar was with her man and was like, it's not, said she was a white woman, but was like, oh my gosh, did that person leave? In my mind, you ain't about to get me.
Right.
I sat my ass down. I opened that fucking menu and I said, you ain't about to get me with that Minnesota Midwest passive aggressive shit. Nah, sis. And so the bartender was just he was engaging with them or whatever, came over to help me. I was like doing whatever I was doing. And then so I'm listening to them talk to the bartender, right? And the bartender is...
Are they talking about you?
No, they're not talking about me. No, I actively was not engaging. I was like, y'all ain't about to get me today. I just want my little lasagna and I'm gonna go back the fuck home. And then the whole time I was sitting there, I was like, I should just did fucking takeout like I wanted to. Look at me trying to be social.
Man, you gotta get that zuppa Toscana.
I thought so, but I don't really like that. My sister loves that soup, but it was heavy and it was hot. So Courtney was like, just get a salad because you already got something hot. I was like, all right, girl.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just got salad and the lasagna. So
you're saying because the soup is hot or because it was hot outside? Because it's been
the
beautiful.
soup was hot.
Oh, okay.
And then the lasagna was hot. So Courtney was like, well, just get the salad because soup is hot with your lasagna. I was like, yeah, that's true. I'll like switch it up. But anyway, I was there and I was like, I should have just fucking got takeout like I wanted to. So anyway, those bartenders, a gay man, lovely. I was like listening to them talk to each other, right? And so the couple, so mind you, this is 11:30, maybe 12 in the morning. And so 11:30 a.m., 12 p.m. So
oh, the fuck you at Olive Garden so goddamn late? I didn't even know
that's no 11:30 a.m. You meant early.
Yeah, 11:30. Oh,
I was awake
I thought you
for
said,
the lunchtime.
I thought you said 12:30 a.m.
I did, like, but then I switched it because then I said 11:30 a.m., 12 p.m. Because I was like, people might think I'm up. Like, exactly right. So I was like, let me clarify. No, this was their lunch. It was the lunchtime.
Oh, okay.
And so they were talking to the bartender, and I remember them saying like something. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like. His brother-in-law, so the woman was talking about her husband. Yeah, his brother-in-law, the NRA guy, he's like this. Because I think the bartender had said he was recently engaged. And so to his male partner. And so the woman was like, yeah, like, I don't know, his cousin's like, yeah, NRA, this, and he probably would have never been to a gay wedding and stuff. Like, who would be real different? But no, he's a really nice guy. Like, he's really cool.
I hate
stuff
when
like
people
that.
do
That's
that
what
shit.
I said. So I'm again at the bar listening, and I was like, I'm so glad I didn't sit next to him because they're literally presenting how I knew they would. Like, and I knew the same thing, right? Like, oh yeah, he was at the Capitol, democracy, but no, they're really good people.
Right.
Like, they're really good people. He didn't really mean to kill that cop. Like,
that's kind of like, hey, cool. No disrespect, but
right, like no disrespect, but.
Insert whatever
and I'll insert whatever racist statement you knew you were going to say, but you just want to pass because you're going to say it anyway. So get the fuck out of here. So they were saying that, and I was just like, I already knew. So it just kept going like that, right? They were saying just weird shit like that, and then like, oh, your partner, how long have y'all been together? Like, oh gosh, how is it here for y'all? Like. This bitch, how the fuck you think it is for them gay in Minnesota? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, well, actually, get the hell out of here. Minnesota's fine, huge, but my thing is like, LGBT you want to. I mean, they do, but what I'm saying is, you trying to ask him like, tell me what it's like to be gay. Yeah, the bartender was white. Okay. So, and I don't like that. Like, don't you ask for a glimpse into my world just to be fucking nosy? Like. So that you can go back to your NRA brother-in-law and be like, I met a gay person. Right. They got a dog. Like, get the fuck out of here with that smoke. So the bartender comes over to me. We're engaging. Like, we're chatting it up. He's like cool as fuck. And he ends up like, so he's checking in on me with the food and everything. Everything's like bomb. And then he's like, when I'm done, he's like, do you want like dessert or something? I was like, shit, you know what? It's Friday. Let's do it up. And then the woman is trying to engage with me.
Got the ice cream and brownie?
No, I got this like cheesecake or something they have. Like, it's a new cheesecake. It's bomb as fuck. Like
bougie.
Chocolate. Shut up, Bears. So then the lady was like, oh yeah. So then I was like, you know what? I am gonna get it this Friday. So he's like, yes, sis, let's do it. I was like, I know, I heard that. And the woman is like, oh yeah, that cheesecake is great. You want to know what Chartel did? Kept her fucking back to them. You ain't gonna get me. I'm not about to engage with you. And so then, what else happened? There was something else that happened when I was at the bar. I can't remember. So long story short, I'm sick of the Midwest passive aggressive. It is a very long story. But shortly, I'm sick of the Midwest passive aggressive-ness. Oh, and so then the bartender was like showing me pictures of his dog and stuff. Like we're like talking and stuff. And then I know what I wanted to say. And I have dog children. So then the woman was like, oh, you didn't show us pictures of your dog. What does it look like? I was like, ooh, child.
Talking to you or the
talking
guy?
to the bartender because I told y'all I'm not engaging. I'm not in the mood.
I'm just trying to picture the whole
I have never engaged with these
interaction.
people. No, I'm like, my back is literally to the side of them. I'm talking to the bartender. I don't even want y'all to look over here at me. Like, no. And again, so I mentioned the time earlier because the bartender asked them if they wanted a refill on their drinks. And he's like, do you want another like wine or something? She's like, you know what? I do. It's just been one of those days. I look at the clock. I'm like, it's 11:30. What do you
goddamn,
mean?
What kind of day you have?
Right.
Yeah.
And then she switched up to espresso and then got a shot afterwards. And I'm looking, and then by this time it's almost noon. I said, girl, what is happening? Like, people are just waking up.
Hey.
What is going on?
Hey, be like that. That's Friday.
I know. So anyway, I just say that story to say, like, you can just tell, like, when people are about to engage you in some shenanigans. And I wasn't in the mood because I got, y'all see if y'all are watching, but I got crochet in my hair, like blue faux locks, and I ain't in the mood for, oh my God, how long did that take?
Right.
Like, is that your real hair?
Can I touch
Bitch,
it?
yes, it's my fucking real hair. It's blue.
Man,
it's all the way down my back. It sure is.
Man, I get every night working at the bar, there's always someone asking to like touch my beard.
Yeah. Is that your real hair? Did you grow that out of your face?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's a sewing.
I'm not in the mood. It's a sewing, right?
But no, like, man, I've had.
So anyway, I was just sick of that shit.
Man, there was this one girl that came up and she was like, "Ooh, I like your beard. Can I touch it?" And I'm like,
ew.
What? She looked good. So,
but still, ew.
I ain't shit. So I was like, all right, go ahead. And then she was like, "Ooh, I would just love to like sit on that."
I'm ill. That is so bold.
I was like,
women out there doing that
Snapchat?
Shit.
Like,
what you doing after this?
Hey, when in Rome.
Get out of here. Women out here doing it. I can't.
Hey, it's hot girl summer, man.
Could you imagine if like, I know, but could you imagine if like the roles were switched if a guy
said that?
Yeah.
Oh man. Or if any dude said that, yeah, they get thrown out.
Right. But, privilege.
Hey, that's a double standard though.
It is. It's out here. It's real.
Because like girls come up, and this is any of the male staff, right? Mm-hmm. Like girls that come up, grab your junk, little smack your ass, and it's just like
y'all gotta take it.
If I did that, or if any male did that, it'd be some shit.
It'd be some problem. Now y'all just gotta take it.
Yeah.
Because no one will believe you.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, who cares?
I mean, but I don't mind it.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Double standard. Woman privilege. Hilarious.
Hey,
we do be getting aggressive out there.
Yep.
We just be trying. So, anywho, yeah, let Sha'Carri run. Leave Bill alone. Stop it.
Yeah, he did his time. Like the Sha'Carri situation, I'm really trying to like wrap my head around it because it's like, so is she like done? Like, can she like try out for because when is the Olympics? Every
4 years.
Every 4 years. So like,
yeah.
Is she ineligible for good? Because like by that time, I guarantee all 50 states, it's just going to be legal.
No, I think what happened is she got a 30-day suspension, and that disqualified her from this Olympics because it falls within. It starts like the 30 days.
Yeah, it starts like next month, right?
But yes,
or the end
I'll
of
be
this
honest,
month.
I don't watch the Olympics. I don't fucking know. I think the end of this month.
Gabe,
yeah,
you know when the Olympics start?
Yeah, it's like a week.
Oh, okay,
in a week. Okay,
that's bogus as hell.
It is. So I think that's why they did it, right? So she can't do it this year or this time because the suspension falls within the Olympics. But I don't think it disqualifies her, so she'll be able to compete next time.
Yeah.
And so, so speaking of, so my friends and I were talking about
come back on meth.
Let me tell. Look, are you stupid? You stupid.
She's
God,
like, okay,
literally like the Flash.
All right.
You're dumb. My friends and I were talking about it, and one of them was like, "Oh, because Nike sponsors her, and Nike put out a statement like, she took accountability, we support her, blah blah." blah, blah, blah. And my friend was like, yeah, I support Nike. Like, I like how they...
shout out to Nike, though. Nike has been doing their...
That's exactly what she said.
What?
Not a shout out to Nike, because Nike fucked up with another black track star last year. Sis got pregnant. They dropped her ass. She came back 10 months later, killed all the records, and now has her own clothing line and stuff. So no shout out to Nike. So then when it happened with Sha'Carri, they didn't want to make that blunder anymore.
Look, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So, and then I will say too, my friend was like, well, it wasn't, she
they've
was
been
just
back in police brutality. They backed Colin Kaepernick. I get it. I mean, yeah, that's a fucked up, isolated situation. But in the grand scheme and totality,
though?
Nike has been rocking. I
mean, I get it, but also, and I'm not saying like don't support Nike or whatever. Like I got Nike shit. I am happy they support.
And for the listeners, I'm gonna put y'all on something, because Chartel be very polarizing or taking sides.
I don't think
but
that's
then
right.
Be contradictory as fuck, because
I don't think that's
remember
right.
when we were up in Duluth?
Yes.
And so it was me, my ex, Chartel, her ex, and another friend of us.
Just
don't worry about it, motherfucker. I'm telling the goddamn story. Shit.
We were there with people.
We were there with people. Anyway, and so this is just when the whole Starbucks situation came out, where they were kicking black folks out for no goddamn reason.
I don't think they were doing that,
and
though.
They asked me what I wanted, because I came in with y'all ass, and I said, I don't support Starbucks.
You literally did it step-footed.
And they looked at me like I was crazy. They're like, they didn't even know what to say.
I don't think Starbucks
your
ass
is like, I don't give a damn. Starbucks is good. I ain't boycotting ass.
I don't know.
That's exactly what you said.
That's what happened.
So I say all that to say that, yes, there are little pockets of fuckery that Nike may have done, but in the whole scheme of things, they're rocking with us, and they're rocking with the movement, and they're actually supporting the individuals that are under them.
Except for the pregnant track star. I can't remember her name.
I don't know who that is.
Well, I'm just telling you that was recent, like last year.
Okay.
And our companies just supporting movements because they're movements. Like, just because the spotlight is on. Are they saying Black Lives Matter, fists in the air, but did you support Trump in his campaign? That's the shit I'd be wondering. Coke did.
I wouldn't know.
Coca-Cola. That's what I'm saying.
That's from your state.
Well, no. I got to go back and make it better. Y'all working hard down there in Georgia. I appreciate it. So, yes, okay. And I don't know if any of that Starbucks stuff was verified. So, I'm just saying.
Wait, what Starbucks stuff is verified?
You were saying something about them kicking out black folks, and I don't think that's right.
In Philadelphia.
That seems like
it was in Philadelphia.
Just a franchise
so there was
situation.
There were two black men that were coming in for a business meeting, and they were waiting on a third individual.
Shit, I think I do remember.
They wanted one of them. I think one of them wanted to use the bathroom, but you have to purchase something to use the restroom. Yeah, which doesn't make sense.
They do that at Walgreens and in Crystal off Broadway.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's a different conversation.
Right, and so essentially,
I do remember this.
I think a worker, or maybe it was a patron, that complained about, the scary black dudes in the corner
trying to go to the bathroom.
And so, so then the manager got involved and called the police to have them escorted out, simply because they were there for a business meeting.
Okay, I do remember that.
And then you turn around and then you go in there and order your little cafe mocha.
Probably an iced soy vanilla latte, real
Caribou all day.
Look, I know, but I do love Caribou. No, I do love Caribou. There was just nothing there.
Yeah.
And I think I was just like, okay, well, we're all going to go to Starbucks and stuff. So
you're trying to sugarcoat it right now.
I'm just, I can't be keeping track of everything. If that's the case, I wouldn't have nowhere to bank. I wouldn't have shit to buy.
What's a company that you've heard people say boycott or something, and you're like, nah, I can't.
Wells Fargo.
I ain't gonna tell nobody, but
Wells
I can't
Fargo.
let it go.
Yeah.
Wells Fargo's yours?
Fargo. And I'll be honest, Wells Fargo, they all got some fuckery going on. Wells Fargo is everywhere. Sometimes it's about convenience.
Facts.
Sometimes it's about convenience.
Facts. I would say either Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, they don't like the gays.
Yeah. Or Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby's fine.
Oh, no, fuck Hobby Lobby. I'll go to Michael's. No, Hobby Lobby is a whole Christian cult. And they weren't taking care of their workers during COVID.
Those are my two.
Okay. Mine are, and Chick-fil-A, I'll be honest, Chick-fil-A is just not that good.
What?
Chick-fil-A is not worth it for me to go out of my way to find.
Right. Gabe, I'm leaving the podcast when I'm done.
I need a new co-host. Amber. Hello.
But
so I think mine would be, it's just not good for me. Okay. I mean, it's not good to me. Like, I'll eat Chick-fil-A, but I'm not about to go out of my way to find some Chick-fil-A. Just like I'm not about to wait in that 6 mile long line at Raising Cane's either.
Oh no, hell
I'd
no.
rather
Hell
just
no.
go buy the damn chicken and cook it my damn self.
Well, when it comes to Raising Cane's, so I mean, if there's listeners down south, I think it's actually the same company owns Zaxby's.
Zaxby's is delicious. I won't wait
I
in
think
that
it's the
line
same
either.
company, but
Okay.
Zaxby's is fire.
Yeah.
I mean, Zaxby's does taste better.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had Zaxby's, Gabe? Oh my God.
I don't think there's some up here.
No.
Okay.
The closest one that I've seen is whenever I go to Kansas City. Like it starts in Missouri.
Okay. The South.
Exactly.
That's what they say. Okay. So my two companies, I think I would say Wells Fargo because they're everywhere and I travel and it's just convenient. I don't have time to be doing fees and shit. And what's another one? I don't think Target is racist. I think they do a good job.
No, Target
Of at
did
least-
really well, actually.
Yeah,
when
I
it came
think
with
they
the
do
George
really
Floyd
good.
situation, they were
Yeah.
like, look, it's just a building.
Right.
We have insurance.
Yeah,
like,
we
take
can
whatever the hell y'all want.
Yeah, we got it
He's
figured
like,
out.
we'll
Yeah.
rebuild.
So I think Target
they supported
did a
the
good
movement.
job.
So
Yeah, I will not do Hobby Lobby.
man, Target is a place that you go in just
Yeah.
wanting to spend like $50. It turns into $300 real
It has
quick.
to, yeah, because you need all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think I don't know if I have a second one, but I definitely will say I know Wells Fargo be doing their fuckery shit, but I'd be like, y'all are convenient. I'm just look, just okay. One black tally removed. That's fine. Like you ain't
Right.
gotta take my whole card. You can take like a little tally. That's fine. So
Yeah.
that's okay. Speaking of black card revoked, do you eat chitlins?
No.
Okay, great.
Mm-mm. My cousins call them booty noodles.
That's hilarious because that's
That
what they are.
shit is
Well, my
disgusting.
family loves them, and I get shunned because I don't eat them. I was like, we don't have to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like you actually can buy edible parts of animals. now.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
we
You
don't have to do
you don't
this
have to
anymore.
eat
Let it go. Same thing with
chitlins.
Spam. Let it go.
Ugh.
Like we don't have to do this.
Yeah, I never had Spam in my life, but
I grew up on
chitlins,
Spam until I
ugh.
learned how to read and read the directions on the bag. I'm like,
What are
All
the
right, Chuck.
directions? Pour out a fucking can?
literally, I think it just says scraps of animals
It's like, what?
pushed together in a machine and
Right.
served to people.
Yeah.
So no, that was So yeah, I definitely will. Wells Fargo is it for me, and I think probably Chick-fil-A would be on it too because if it's there and everybody, I'm like, oh fine, I'll do it. I guess maybe Starbucks, which I'll have to like reconcile with because there's no Caribou down south. But you know what? Dunkin' Donuts. I'm gonna switch. I just don't think Starbucks is
but
good.
I feel like that shit is like super sugary. Like they got like
Oh, they definitely have sugary
like
drinks.
you're like a crackhead after
Definitely.
sipping that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
But
And I just don't think Starbucks is good. It's like a desperation move for me. I just don't think they have good
Okay.
coffee.
I don't know. I've never
Like
had
it's
them.
$6 for like
I'm never gonna have them.
burnt coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious because you did not go inside.
Yeah.
That shit
Well, I
was
went
funny as
inside, but I was just
Did
like,
you?
Yeah. She asked like, yeah. So what do you want? I'm like,
No.
I'm never gonna give you guys money. I don't support you guys.
But if
Which
that's
is kind
the
of a
case,
dick move because like, the little barista, she's like, what did I do?
Exactly.
Kind of looking at me, and I'm like,
Worked
"Dang,
for a
I need-
racist
all right, I
company,
need to chill.
apparently.
My bad.
But then
My
going
bad.
back though, Starbucks did a whole like ethnicity training. I think they gave those black
Yeah, it was
men
one-
money
it
and
was
stuff.
one day.
It was one day.
And
They
it's
shut all
like-
the stores
it's
down.
like if
for
you
it,
had to
though.
have training to tell you not to be racist, or this is how you treat someone who doesn't look like you, whether it's race, religion, creed. Like, come on now.
That's
like
that shit I just
that's-
can't get behind. Like, why can't you interact with people?
That comes down to like these Fortune 500 companies and their diversity board is typically all white men. Or,
Maybe one white woman sprinkled in there for fun.
But exactly. But it's like,
Or an Asian.
and then you go out and try to lay out like, this is our diversity plan. And it's like, but
I
you
worked
don't
for a
have
company
the
like that.
people
Yeah.
that can, weigh in and say, don't do this. Like H&M. Remember
Exactly.
H&M?
Yeah, they had the monkey.
Man, they had a
something
monkey
with
and
the
it
little
said the
baby.
king of
Yes.
the jungle.
Yes.
And little black baby was like rocking
Yes.
it. And it's like,
Shein did that too with like a phone.
come on now.
case.
Like you should just know like that's not going to hit right. And I think H&M is from Sweden or somewhere.
They're a European.
They're
brand.
European.
Yep.
European, but it's-
H&M and Zara.
and they
I
were
think,
like,
are
oh,
together.
well, we just didn't know.
Y'all fucking knew.
da-da-da.
Shut the
And
hell
it's
up.
like, exactly.
Shut the
It's
hell
like,
up.
come on,
I ain't
dude.
buying that no more. Shut the hell up. You know. Like that dude when we were out, you said that Blue Lives Matter shit.
I was just about to say, I think
Yeah.
that's another company that I still.
H&M.
Yeah. Like
Also, H&M is like kind of cheap.
Is it cheap?
It's like the material's like cheap.
Really?
Yeah. It's a little like
As
flimsy.
I touch my own shirt, I'm
Hilarious.
like, this
Is that shirt
H&M
from
right here?
H&M?
I'm like, shit, is it? But
it's a little like cheap. Zara's
maybe.
a little better, but I think they're like I think it's like
like
you
the
know how-
step up, like
yeah. Like Ford and Lincoln.
yeah.
I think it's like H&M, Zara.
okay.
Yeah, Zara's a little better quality, but
Mm.
I can't be worried about it. Everybody race. I can't spend all my energy doing all this shit. We got bigger issues going on.
Facts.
Biden still ain't resolved student loan issues. So
what's the number one thing you want Biden to do?
I don't even know if there's a number one. You know what I think my number one would be? I think it would be...
Make coherent sentences?
Make coherent sentences. Like, just be fucking honest. Like, you can't rely on his old age forever. Come on, man.
He always says that shit.
At least Trump, said he did what he said he was going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Trump said he was going to lock up everybody in cages. He did it. Trump said he was going to show up and create a dictatorship. He almost made it. He got real close. So at least Trump, did what he said he was going to do. Biden hiding behind everything. He is so soggy white bread. I think
we were talking about it on a different episode where it was like, Biden is, well, and you actually said that, no, he's not what you need after a Trump. But I think
he's a lifeboat.
He is something that you need after a Trump, where it's like, on the left, what do you think about Biden? Yeah. On the right, what do you think about Biden? Yeah. Like,
he's the lifeboat we needed, but the lifeboat got a fucking hole in it now. We're all sinking. We're all sinking. I don't even know what the next island is.
Well, I feel like
we're all going to drown.
I think Biden will be, I guess, quote unquote, for Biden, coherent for the next year or two. And then I feel like Kamala will be the one to actually be... She
ain't my vote either.
making moves.
Yeah.
Making
what kind of moves? I don't know. What's your decisions?
I don't know.
You're the worst.
I don't know.
I can't.
That's what's like scary about it. But
right. So what's my number one thing for Biden outside of make a coherent sentences? I think for me, it's make a fucking decision. I think after Trump, we don't have time to have Congress do their job and rely on them. Them fuckers showed us where their allies are. We don't have time for this. You are the fucking president. There are some executive orders you need to make to get us back on fucking track, right? We don't have time to weigh in for everyone else.
I feel like Trump had 8 executive orders day one.
Trump was like, you gon' fuck up this shit. We about to blow whole shit to smithereens. And then you're Biden is coming into a literal building on fire, and you're trying to wait for the police department and the fire department and the community service officers to all get on the same page. It's burning. Mm-hmm. We are dying. We're dying of smoke inhalation. Mm-hmm. So that's my issue with him. And he's like, well, I want everyone to work together. Nigga, we ain't got time for that right now. We don't have time. You need to get in and say, this is what the fuck we're doing. We're doing it now. Get your shit together. That's my problem with Biden. We ain't got time. So resolve the student loan debt. You have so many people telling you that's what you need to do. You ran on this shit. You ran on 50,000. And now all of a sudden, let's do 10,000. I don't really know if I can do that. That's how you got elected. You better get your shit together.
Well, I feel like
you better get it together.
Completely agree.
Oh, you done started me, Ferris.
I also feel like at the same time, so it's kind of like the COVID stimulus shit that was sent out, that was a lot of money that he could have put towards that. But now it's what was that? That was 1.2 trillion goddamn dollars.
I didn't want that fucking stimulus package. We had to have something put in place super fast because no one realized how capitalistic America is.
Okay.
And how much people were suffering. So now you have to come up with something really fast because people literally don't have money at all because work is done. We don't have safe precautions in place for people to take time off of work. So now people literally can't work because Trump fucked up the virus. There weren't protections in place. So now you have to do something to give people money so you don't have all Americans homeless. And now we need to use some of that money to stay in our homes. My rent's $1,450. You're giving me $1,400. I'm $50 less. And I got a car payment. I got groceries to get. If I had kids, I'd be fucked the fuck up. So you're not even giving us enough money to live, right? That's why yes. So tons of problems, right? So the stimulus package, while I was happy to receive it because I was lucky enough to still be working, so it could be extra money for me, I couldn't get out of my head the people who truly were on their last. And I'm like, this stimulus is making it worse because everyone wants part of it. So the electric company know you got a stimulus. So where's our money? The rent company knows you got a stimulus. So where's our money? There's not enough money to literally go around. If I was a parent and I had lost my main source of income.
Well, there is enough money, but they just don't want to.
They're not distributing it like they need to.
Correct.
The defense has so much fucking money for us to be in everybody else's business. Nobody wants us in their shit. Leave us stop it. Fix shit here. Leave Palestine alone. Stay out of the fucking Middle East. They don't want us over there. So now you need to fix shit at home. You're giving money to homeless people in Syria. What about the ones you stepped over to walk into the Capitol that day?
Right.
What about the ones you step over sleeping on the White House lawn? Why is their life not important, but the ones in Syria are? Stop it. So all of that to say, I was not a fan of the stimulus package because it wasn't doing it wasn't truly helpful. It was just something we had to piece together in place because America is so capitalistic. And that's another thing too. People are like, well, you need to stay home when you're sick, when you're this. If you get 10 sick days a month or a year,
yeah, you can't stay home.
You literally can't stay home. And let's not even talk about the companies that guilt you for using them. I worked for a company, I'll call them out, Washburn Center for Children. Fuck that shit. And that mental health. Think about that, mental fucking health. And the workers couldn't even have time. I couldn't even take my sick days because then it was, well, are you really sick? Can we get a doctor's? Or can we do this? I said I was fucking sick. Why are you all in my business?
I don't have to go into detail about
I don't have to go into detail about why I'm sick. I told you I'm sick. I get sick days, right? So what's the problem? Same thing with PTO. I'm going to take this week off of work. Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to try to find coverage. We'll have to do this and this. Okay, do you need the full week? Could you do this? So you're not even allowing me to take the rest that I need. And then you're wondering why we're coming in, stressed the fuck out. Kids can't get the needs they met. The kids can't get their needs met because the adults serving them, their needs aren't met. And you're just in this trauma cycle, right? It's problematic.
So quick question based off of what you said. Would you have rather had... So would you have rather had the student... Okay, so... You said student loan debt taken care of. Right?
I forgot about that. Yes.
Now, Canada, because I have friends that stay in Toronto. Now, Canada had it where they paid you $2,000 per person, $2,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And that started March of 2020.
I heard about
that. I think it just recently ended. Mm. You know, when
good for you,
to let shit go. But so if it's a household, that's $4,000 a month. Mm-hmm.
So is it $2,000 per adult?
Per adult.
Okay.
So it's like, would you have rather had that, or would you rather just have the student loan debt elimination?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Because that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money, and I would have had my house down payment by then.
Because it's like, where are you getting the money from?
Right.
Now, we can answer that because it's like, do we need to spend trillions of dollars on the military to be in, perfect example, like you just said, Israel, to fight the Palestinians and Israel, right? Mm-hmm. Do we need to pay $115 billion per year to police departments
who just keep killing American citizens?
Yeah, there's money to be found, but there's other ways. It's like I understand where you're coming from, mm-hmm. but it's like, I mean, Trump signed that shit. He sent $1 trillion fucking dollars to, and the crazy thing is, it was only I didn't get any of them, but I think it was like three payments, right?
And people were waiting for a fourth one.
So people only got, let's just say
$1,400 times 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like $5,000-$6,000, right? And
if you're $10,000 in debt,
other countries who are literally giving out livable wages, $2,000 a month.
That's it too, right? Because I think
just to stay like chill, just stay home.
Like literally, you can't leave because we have to get this under control. People then they came up with this. You talk about gaslighting, essential workers. What the fuck?
I mean,
like I'm essential,
they are
but
essential though.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It's like to smooth it over though. I think that's gaslighting. Like food service people are essential workers. Are you?
So you're saying? Okay, yeah. Like if you're working at McDonald's, then no,
right.
You're not.
I'm not
talking
like
essential,
hospital staff and police departments and stuff like that. I'm talking about like food and service industries. But that's the problem, right? Like that's the biggest demographic that lost the most, right? I'm making up stuff. I think the food and service industry suffered a whole lot. I'll say that.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because people literally can't go out, and so then you have to decide. So here in Minnesota, I think they stretched it out as long as they could, right?
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, great. I have to decide if I'm going to go to work, make the money that I need and risk my health, or if I'm going to stay at home and just be homeless. So then they kicked in the like unemployment stuff, right? Great. But then people were mad that people were getting paid more on unemployment than they were employed. So instead of, my thing is, why are you mad about that? Instead of the fact that we were all suffering with, what's the term that they use? Working poor wages, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't even make any sense. So my thing is like, why are you mad that people are making more on unemployment instead of being mad at the fact that they're making more on unemployment?
Well, the working poor wages are like, because I work at a bar, so a server is making like $2 an hour. Like that's her check.
I used to serve too.
Right.
I get it.
Right. So that's the check. Mm-hmm. And then you're relying on people's tips. But with COVID, people can't even come in.
Right. They can't even come in.
But the crazy thing is the servers, like the actual staff suffered, but numbers show restaurants themselves they boomed. They actually boomed during COVID because when you could actually get out, it was only because they restricted the hours and all this kind of stuff. Well, first it was just takeout. You could just go. But like a lot of people just to get out of the house to get.
But then are you saying they weren't tipping people?
They didn't have to tip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like if they just make it at a if it's takeout, do you tip? No.
I tip for takeout.
You do? Mm-hmm. I don't. Do you, Dave? Gabe? Oh.
Yeah. See, you're really? The problem.
I guess
sometimes I do. Sometimes if it's like, if I'm just going in like quick, I won't. It depends. Sometimes I'll just do like $1 or $2 because I'm like, all you do is like box it up. I get it. But
right.
Sometimes, most of the times, I tip when I do takeout. It's definitely not as much as I tip when I'm going out. You actually have
someone serving you, correct?
And sometimes there are restaurants that don't even have the tip option if you're like paying with card and stuff. Yes. So I've seen that happen. There are like tip jars and stuff. It depends. But I think my issue with tipping is structural because they don't do it in Europe because that's like they get paid enough.
Exactly.
Right. And if you tip over there, it's considered rude. So I just think about all of these other countries that are doing things differently and people are happier. And I come back here and I'm like, I don't want to have to pay your wage too. Like there should just be a better system in place. And I'm not saying it's their fault or anything like that. I'm mad at like the system. Right.
Right.
So sometimes I tip for takeout. Sometimes I tip a lot. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't tip at all, whatever. But it's definitely not like what I would if I tipped, like if I'm sitting down and having someone
because I feel like
serving me.
When I have that like that attachment, like I see the service, I know that this person is making, like I said, crumbs. And then so they're relying on these tips. So it's like, all right, then I got you.
Think it
Plus,
should
be real. Like when you're black, you're like, damn, I got to like for real tip because they're expecting me not to.
Definitely. And I recently gave up that or like unlearned that because you're not about to treat me like shit. Then I don't get
I'm not saying if you're getting treated like shit though, but if it's a good service, I hear what you're saying though.
Yeah. Yes, there is that preconceived notion in there, but I have unlearned that. So, but yeah, still when I go out too, it's like, okay, great. Especially if it's a white server, like, or no, black people do it too. So it's like, okay, great. Now I gotta like tip more just to show that not all black people don't tip or whatever. But I'm like, no, I'm not about to do that anymore because I'm going to debunk that. I'm gonna just tip however I want to. But yeah, I don't even know where we started off. Student loans.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're just.
I think it was ultimately like, what do we want to see from Biden? What's like the biggest thing? So,
I think the biggest
student loan debt elimination.
Honestly, yes, but I think bigger than that, I just want to see him make a fucking decision that betters the economic structure of America. I'll be honest, when he signed that
Pulse nightclub.
Yes.
Pulse thing.
Have we talked about this
before?
I'll be honest.
He made it like a
landscaper
or something.
Yes. I'll be honest. I was pissed about that. And I went to Instagram. I don't usually comment because people be trolling, but I had to. They did. And I somebody was like, ooh, look, I guess we found the homophobe. I'm not a fucking homophobe. My thing is like, why are you signing this executive order, but you literally have all of your staff telling you to eliminate student loan debt. I shouldn't say that sweeping statement here. You have a lot of people pushing you to at least resolve $50,000, but you're making this a landmark. I'm not saying that's not important. I'm saying, like, are you fucking serious?
Well, I mean, he's a politician. What do you expect? Because
he is the worst.
That's literally what. So I remember when it was him and Bernie going at it with the debate.
Yes.
And
I don't think I didn't watch any of the debates.
Really? I thought
it's exhausting.
It is exhausting, and it's like.
I watched him with
Trump. I don't know it's like I get what Bernie's talking about, but I don't know if I could wholeheartedly like back what he's doing too, like give him my vote. But it's like he was literally the main person that was saying like he was like, "Are you going to run in this?" Like he was asking Biden like, "This is what I'm about. I want to eliminate
Bernie
student
is
debt."
direct,
and then Biden's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that."
Yeah,
like a politician though. So he's like, "Of course." So I think people bought into that. And so you can't be mad when a politician pulls the wool over your face.
I am mad. You know what I mean? But I am mad about that because that's the problem with politics. And I wish I could just like do America all over. That's the problem. Like the politicians don't work for us. They work for the companies that support them.
Right.
And that's the problem I have. So no, I do expect a politician to like keep to your word because you work for us. Theoretically. But really, you're working with whoever's paying you the most for your campaign. So then that brings in money. Like, why do you need money to run for office? You know, you don't get to keep the people true because they're not paying for you. That's why I support grassroots, like politicians and activists because the people are paying for them.
Well, I think
like AOC, right? And I appreciate John Ossoff too when he was like, he to me seems pretty straightforward as well. Called Kelly Loeffler fucking Klansman, or said she was hanging out with Klansmen. Like, I like his directness because it's refreshing when it really should be the standard.
But I feel like a lot of people put too much stake into the presidency, or too much.
I do agree with that.
Too much like weight into what they can do.
I do agree with that.
You have to do local. Local is going to affect you more than
Agreed.
what the president can do.
Definitely.
You know
like
what I mean?
once
He's getting the bills
president,
that
that's like the last
the states.
step.
It comes from the cities to the states.
I agree.
To him or
Right.
her. So
yeah, and I say that to people too. You know, people were saying, especially in Georgia, like, you know, Warnock and Ossoff, they're like, they need to do this, they need to do that. I was like, y'all, they are the U.S. senators. Like, who are your state representatives?
Correct.
They're the ones fucking up shit.
Correct.
Right? Y'all need to be looking at Bibb County. Gwinnett County is actually pretty well, but you need to be looking at Bibb County. What is it? What's down?
Fulton.
Warner Robins, Fulton. Like, you need to like, I went online and like looked at all of the representatives. All of Georgia's Republican. So I'm like, y'all need to pay attention to those local elections. And then there are some places too in Georgia, especially, where they run unencumbered. Is that the word? They run like by themselves. No one is like running against them. So it's like, if you don't like what your county is doing and you notice that this representative is running there's no incumbent. You be that person. Or encourage someone else to do it, because it's like they're only winning because no one is running against them. So run against them.
Right.
Nothing changes unless you do. But no, I absolutely agree. Like, once you get to like those national, like state and national levels, you've already kind of missed a bunch of steps, right? School board elections matter, like local elections matter, city officials. We're going through that now. City council in Minneapolis.
Just to kind of touch on that.
Yes.
So Elijah Holiday Norris.
Yes.
Ward. What ward is he?
5.
Ward
4.
5. Ward 5.
Ward 5.
And then you have Carmen Meeks.
Yes.
Who was on.
I think that's Ward 4.
That's Ward 4.
Yes.
Go out and vote.
Yes, please, please, please. I appreciate the plug. Yes. Yeah. But again, there are people that want to see change in their community. Like, we've talked to both of them and they are phenomenal. Like, it's none of this placating, right? You know, I don't know if you heard, but when Carmen was here last week with Mama White, she was like, I've never done politics before. But when shit started hitting the fan, I was like, I can't sit back.
Sometimes you need that.
You
need that refreshing look where it's like, they're not a career politician.
Agreed.
They have realistic, or they have an outlook that your common person would have.
Because you're
like us.
Yeah, you're like on the ground living with people, right? You're not in that ivory building just looking at policy and stuff. You see what is going on the ground, and you see the change that needs to be made. I think about that too, and I think about like education. Like, you've been like an educational leader for like 30 years, but you haven't been in the classroom for like 29 of those years. And now you're telling all these teachers what to do. Classrooms are so different than before. So I think, so you need people on the ground. And that's why I love, like, there are so many community members running for office and stuff, because that's how we make the change.
And to circle it back around, before you got here, me and the producer Gabe, we were talking about like policing, right? Mm-hmm. And just policing in the state of like community policing, right?
Yeah.
And so like, I feel like it would be awesome if there were like an incentive, like you get an extra 5,000 or whatever to live, like police in the neighborhood that you actually live in. Because then you know the people, you
I
will
talk
have
about that
a
with
greater
our
respect.
community engagement officer.
Right.
And that's so important. But yeah, it's, and speaking about, so I live in a more affluent suburb. So I get like officers can't.
Miss Bougie.
I know. I just be living. I get officers can't always like live in those type of areas, right? Those are also the areas that don't suffer the same policing issues that more underserved areas do. So I'm speaking about Minneapolis specifically. That is a super affordable area. There's no reason why officers can't live in that community where they serve.
Correct.
Period. And, you know, I've talked to the mayor about this. You know, I haven't talked to the chief about it or anything. But my thing is, that is something that does need to be a requirement. I wouldn't even say an incentive, like a requirement in areas where it's feasible. Right. Right.
Urbanized areas.
Right. Like you can afford to live here. Right. So it's not fair for you to come in
or even like cover
up shit. Like and go back to Eden Prairie.
Like cover your mortgage, cover your rent.
Yeah, something,
like
right. But that's an incentive
like
you talked about, right? Like, we'll help you do that. But those relationships are so important. And I just think about policing in those underserved communities. My community engagement officer and I, we sit down for damn near 2 hours each month just chatting it up because we can do that.
Now imagine trying to do that with a Minneapolis community officer. This is probably going to be
they
hard
don't even
as hell.
have any on staff.
Exactly.
They don't even have, like, this community, that's his job. He's a community engagement officer. That is his literal job. Minneapolis, they don't even have time to do that because they're running from fire to fire to fire when they feel like it.
Right.
Because like you said, they're ignoring the actual problems because they're probably on some kind of payroll, whatever. Same thing. Like, how am I telling you I know who committed a crime and who did? I'm giving you all this information, but you still can't find
act.
You can't act. I'm like literally doing your job for you.
So,
confused.
So for listeners who don't know, because I don't think we really touched on it.
No, it wasn't our story to share.
It's going to be on a bonus episode. Mm-hmm. But anyway, there's a situation that happened where a young man was killed.
Yep.
And
he was murdered.
And the community knows who did it.
Yep.
Right.
Has given facts to
names,
detectives.
all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And they're just kind of sitting on their hands.
Yeah. I think the detective literally told the family, like, good, like, we're not doing anything.
Exactly.
With this.
And so I know that you reached out.
I did.
Reached out to the detective.
I still haven't heard back.
Haven't heard anything.
I actually left 2 messages. I called after our show last week, left 2 messages, haven't heard back. And I think that's unacceptable.
Very.
Very unacceptable, especially when the community is doing your job for you. So I just want to make something very clear. I don't live in Minneapolis, but some of the interactions I have had, Minneapolis, the community wants to be safe. They
Correct.
want to be there. They want the police out there helping solve problems. That is why they are helping them do that. So it's infuriating when they are doing the police's job and the police aren't doing theirs.
Correct.
So I just want to make that abundantly clear. And so it truly is the issue of police.
And I feel like people who live in that neighborhood or live in Minneapolis, they know that when people are saying defund the police and stuff, we're not trying to, like, they're not trying to get rid of it.
Right.
We're literally just saying we need accountability.
Yes.
And you can reallocate some funds. And at the end of the day, like, people want to be safe, and we want officers that are actually for the community and want to protect and serve.
Agreed.
That's essentially what the whole defund the police is about. Mm-hmm. But I feel like certain people run with it.
It's a buzzword. People hear it. They
polarizing.
Exactly. They already know what they want to say. So you're not even listening to me. You just want to get your point across. So that's why I don't even say it anymore. If I'm having conversations with people about that, I just call it let's reallocate funds, because then people are like, oh, what do you mean? Then I can go in and talk about it. But I know if I go and talk about defund the police, we're not even going to get anywhere, because you have your idea. You're not even trying to listen to me anymore. And I don't actually mean defund the police. I mean, let's literally reallocate resources, because if your ass is living in Anoka, what the hell you need a military tank for?
Right.
For the deer running across the street? What? Get out of here. The 50 white people that live up that way, get out.
Yeah.
Like literally Limmer. Get the fuck out of here.
I think there's one black dude up there. One black person.
Yeah, maybe that's why they need the tank.
But that was always a hot topic. Good
always
conversation.
Always a hot topic, yeah.
I think you already touched on it earlier. You know, you exhausted about cancer season.
I'm exhausted just by life. Y'all cancers out here definitely tripping. What has me exhausted outside of y'all cancers? You know what has me exhausted, Ferris? Bum ass dudes out here that are like just bummy as fuck.
Okay, go into detail.
Where do I even start? I am exhausted by unremarkable men.
I think I seen you post that shit. You're like, where are the remarkable men?
Where are the remarkable men?
Minnesota?
Y'all are so unremarkable.
They're not in exchange. That's where you be at. Look, you ain't gonna find nobody nice in the club.
But I'm also not finding anyone nice in the library. Or like when I'm out chilling on the patio. I can read. I'm up to 5th grade now. Shut the hell up. I've been working real hard. So my thing is like, y'all are so unremarkable. But even when I'm meeting guys outside of exchange, get out of here. They show up so watered down. I know, library is cool. You should go one day. They're so watered down. They are so like, you want me to call you when I say I'm going to call you? Yes. In adulthood, we call that accountability.
I think that's just everyone, and that's men and women, you value your time. And if you have multiple options, you're trying to figure out, all right, how much energy am I going to put into this person over this person, right? So I think that's kind of what you're speaking on.
No, it's not what I'm speaking on.
Well,
men are just unremarkable.
From a man's perspective.
I do get what you're saying. And yes, right, we all have options. But my thing is be intentional. I find that you know who you want to spend your time with.
Of course.
Pretty quickly.
Hands down, yeah.
So then don't spend your time with someone you don't want to spend your time with, hoping to find someone else, or just because you don't want to be alone.
But I feel like a lot of people look for the flashier thing, the next thing.
And that's not okay.
Latest and greatest.
Right. And that's not okay. And if you are going to do that, be honest with the people on your roster.
I agree with that.
That's fine, right? So just say that, though. Say, hey, yeah, you're really cool, but she seems to be a little better, so I'm going to go over there. All right, fine. Let me know so I can make moves, too. But don't, like, all of a sudden stop answering my calls or start texting crazy times and just trying to keep me along when that is what you're doing, because that's the not fair part.
Right.
So my thing is, yes, if you want to spend time with other people or keep all of your options open, say that, too. Don't just be out here literally being unremarkable. And then my thing, too, is don't be out here not taking accountability. Like, don't say, well, that's just how I am. I'm just not a communicator. You just have to get used to that. If you don't fix that shit, like...
But why not just move on to the next?
I do. But the problem is, if everyone is doing that...
Not everyone is doing that.
Most people, hence my status. Most people are, I'll be honest, this generation of men are not taking accountability. They are not doing the work that they need to do. They are like, you got to take me as I am. And not take me as I am like... I'm just someone that likes football. You got to do, I'm talking like, take me as I am. Like, yeah, I just never learned how to communicate. So you're going to have to deal with that. There are so many ways you can change and be better if you want to. I'm not about to take your ass. You just being out here mediocre at best. And then I'm supposed to raise you and do all, or deal with that shit. Fuck that shit. No. So I am exhausted by unremarkable men that keep stepping to me, looking for me to accept that. No, I got rid of everybody on my roster this past week.
Good. I mean, that's what you should do.
I mean, yeah, that's it. But it's annoying, though. It's just annoying that men are out here not taking accountability. Yeah. It's annoying.
I think that's twofold. Like, it's on the same, like, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of men in Minnesota. There's a lot of women in Minnesota. And I feel like at the end of the day, you do not need to waste your time on some shit that you know is not going to go to where you want it to go, right?
Right.
And so if someone's like playing you to the right or left, like, just move on. I
agree. But in the circles, everyone is doing that. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I know I'm in exchange like every Friday.
Exactly. Then you got to question where you are.
But that's one day out of the week. Most of the time, my ass is at Panera. I'm at the library. I'm like out places. You'll catch me at Exchange on Fridays. But I do a lot of other things.
It might be that cashier at Panera who's actually about it. But you're like, oh, he works at Panera.
See, now you're like making judgments. No. Now, if you're not making moves, you can't then blame me for saying, oh, it's because you work at Panera. Nigga, you ain't even say nothing to me. I literally have no idea you were interested. Right?
Okay.
So anyway, that's what is exhausting.
Well, I remember there was this one person you were talking about, and you said that they were blue collar, right? And you consider yourself white collar.
Oh my God, Ferris!
So now you're over here.
No. Look, don't have our listeners thinking I'm out here bougie as fuck.
She playing right now. So it's like he did it. He filled most of your of the boxes, right? Or no, am I wrong?
No, I think you're wrong. I think he didn't fill any of them, but I was.
You were over here complaining about just random shit. He rubs his feet together.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh my God.
Like, that shit's annoying. Like, okay, just tell him, hey, bro.
Literally,
he was
together. So fucking noisy. Like, shut the fuck up. No, he was fucking problematic. So yes, he was blue collar. And so, okay, fine, I'll be elitist. There's just a different mindset, right? I'll be honest, there's just a different fucking mindset. Homie was like, yeah, where do you want to, like, what's around here for breakfast? I'm like, there's Cheesecake Factory across the street, Panera's over here. There's like a People's Organic. And I think then the West End is like close to the West End is like kind of like a more, it's not even upscale or ritzy. It's just an area.
Why don't you offer to y'all go to the store, y'all make breakfast?
You know I don't cook. So that's not going to work. So, but listen, let me finish this story though. That's what he said. And let me tell you something. If you mad because I don't cook, you got bigger issues. You got bigger issues. I don't have bigger issues. I'm busy. I ain't got time to cook. Oh, okay. My ass, I ain't got time to cook.
You're going to be single then.
Look, that's fine.
You better learn how to get
if that's the one factor that you're looking for in a woman,
that's a big factor, man.
No, I didn't say I can't cook. I just said I don't cook.
Look.
So let's
SpaghettiOs and peanut butter sandwiches.
You will never catch me doing that. So let me finish the story. Then you can tell us what yours are. So anyway, I said those options. Homie was like, oh, you like those expensive places. One of those places was Panera. What? So that's what I mean when I say there are just some differences in blue and white color. I literally was like, I'm not sure. A, you asked what was around here. I literally named places within walking distance.
Right.
And B, I don't think those places are expensive at all. What? That was such a weird thing, I think, to say.
Right.
Oh, you like those expensive places? Excuse me? So that was like the icing on cake. No, he was
McDonald's or
he was it won't get me. But no, he was problematic all the way up to the feet rubbing. The feet rubbing was just icing on the cake. I was like, you have got to get the fuck out of my face.
Okay, well,
so anyway.
I mean, you about to be in Georgia, you'll see. I guarantee, Gabe, mark my words. Come whatever episode we're going to be when she's down there, she's going to be like, there ain't no remarkable men down here in Georgia.
I'm just going to get me a third dog and live my fucking life. Shut up, Fierce. I know how to cook.
You need to learn how to deal with them loud ass feet. Let me tell you something.
You're not about to have me working the 30 hours a week hour and come home and feed your hungry ass. Why you not getting food?
Okay.
Why can't you feed yourself? Why can't you cook me dinner?
Look.
A bitch is tired. I saw this tweet where it was like, no man wants to come home from working a 40-hour week to a woman that ain't got no hot meal on top. No, look, no bitch want to come home after working 40 plus hours a week, take care of these goddamn kids and feeding your hungry and deadbeat ass. You get in the fucking kitchen. You got home before me. You passed 2 grocery stores.
Right.
And you want me to stop after? I will kill you. You got me fired up on this episode, Fierce. What is exhausting you? I'm about to bust all the mics up in here.
Right. Gabe gonna whoop your ass.
Gabe said, hold up.
Right. He's like, you're going too far. You're going too far.
Take her down.
Man, exhausted. Man, I just say, like I said, we touched on it earlier. I think it's treating, like, whether it's a black celebrity, black athlete, whatever, different than their counterpart, right?
For sure.
So, like, yeah, Bill Cosby, he did some messed up things.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
y'all went after him super hard.
Exactly.
Who was it? Harvey
super
Weinstein?
Hard. Harvey Weinstein. Yep. Epstein.
Yeah.
Woody Allen, who married his adopted daughter. Like, come on now. Like, there's things out. It's just like, just have that same energy with the other side. And I think
And I think they tricked Bill Cosby, because I think they said if he admitted to it, he wasn't going to go to jail. Then they turned right back around and used that against him. I mean, I'm not like excusing his actions. I'm just saying, like, the court straight up lies. When you hear people say the system is fucked up, that's what we mean.
Right.
So we literally can't trust you.
Oh, Bill.
Yeah, but I'm...
Party at Bill's house.
I was going to say. I know there was like this meme going around. It was like everybody was like looking in a cup for his release party.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be up in there. Hey,
y'all stupid.
Shoot, Bill, what you got up in here?
What's in there? And can I have 2?
Right.
Shut up.
But anyway, y'all can find us, Chopping Up Official.
Yes, you guys
Instagram,
are great as always. Yes, follow us.
Facebook.
We'll be starting to upload bonus features and behind the scenes. Y'all will catch us before and after,
Spotify, Apple Music.
Yes, we
YouTube,
love you guys. Yes.
Pandora. Thanks
Can't
for listening,
wait.
y'all.
Bye.